Hello everyone, it's Richard Lewis here again with another video. Today what I'm going to be talking about is the latest news from Valorant, in particular the anti-cheat. This is Riot Games FPS, and there's been a lot of changes made. I made a video about it not that long ago where I was talking about how now it's gone from being always on in the background, this rootkit kernel access piece of software, to now you can turn it on and off. It's not an ideal fix by any stretch of the imagination because you still have to reset your PC each time you want to play Valorant to reboot Vanguard up so it can have that level of access and make sure you're not cheating. But all told, it was a compromise. It was good to see Riot Games make a compromise. But that being said, when they made those changes, they also rolled out a patch, and now Vanguard is doing crazy shit on your PC. It's been reported by multiple people, and I'm going to get into that and show you what it is. I myself having been a victim of this. So before we talk about that, though, I just have to say right out the gate, there's a lot of good things to say about Valorant, and I'm going to say them. I've got my review of the game coming out soon. It might already be out by the time you see this video. That's going to be on Dexerto, which is a website that I freelance for, Dexerto. You can check it out if you want to. But the most mismanaged and bungled and botched part of the Valorant project has been this anti-cheat and how they've handled it. Let's just start, first of all, by they said, oh, it's going to be revolutionary, it's going to be a game changer. You are waving a red flag to every cheat coder out there when you say something like that. They're going to want to decompile it, break it. It's a feather in their cap for their customers if they can bypass it. As it turned out, there was day one cheats on it. Everyone on all the cheating forums, even people with just a cursory understanding of coding, are saying, actually, it ain't all that, it ain't all that. Right? And I've seen very sophisticated cheats. There are cheaters all over the place in Valorant already, and no sign of them abating. I've got a video about that coming where I'm going to compile you and show you just how sophisticated the cheats are already and how the anti-cheat seemingly doesn't do anything. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The other problem you've got is the naivety of it to think that you're going to make the game that has no online cheaters. It's always cat and mouse. And I think it's great that you're committed to catching them. They are a scourge. They ruin online play. But equally, you have to be realistic and understand you will always be in an arms race. And at various points, you will be up, they will be up. That is the nature of it. Starting as far behind as you have, with the level of access you've got for your anti-cheat, seems incredible to me. And now you've made these changes and you are doing things to people's PCs that you probably shouldn't be. There's some very questionable stuff here. And I think it's great that Riot Games are like including me and they're like, hey, look, you know, you've been critical of us in the past. Here's the closed beta. We want your genuine thoughts. I love having that level of access. I love giving my thoughts about the game. And as I said, many good things, many positive aspects I can talk about. But this Vanguard situation is fucking terrible, and they've really got to get a grip on it because you are looking stupider and stupider with each passing day. This has got to get resolved, or you've got to at least come out and say, all right, listen, we really over-egged the pudding on our fucking anti-cheat because it was PR. That's just what you're going to have to say. Look, I'll show you some of the stuff that's been going on. So, first off, Vanguard does not tell you what it is blocking. It just tells you that it blocked something. And this is correct. I've seen this. When Vanguard detects something that it thinks it needs to block, obviously on like your PC, my PC, it's something completely benign because we're not cheaters. The reality is it doesn't tell you what it is. It just says it's encountered something. Now, I need the details, right? As the player, I need to know what it's blocked so I can then disable it. Or do I even need that program on my hard drive? Or why is it blocking it? Maybe I might want to create a support ticket. Maybe I might want to just tell the devs so they can like create an exception or a firewall workaround or whatever the fuck it is. Can't do any of that if I don't know what it is. And the fact that it doesn't tell you is like just bizarre. Now, the only argument I can think of for that is that, well, if we tell you what drivers it is, then maybe cheaters and cheat coders can use it as a workaround. That's not going to fly with your kernel access, anti-cheat software rootkit that I've had to install just to play your game, I'm afraid. I want to know what the fuck it is doing to my PC while it's on my PC. And it doesn't end there. Look. One of the things that I saw reported quite, across Twitter, and this is just a typical example, Wi-Fi drivers. Why is it blocking Wi-Fi drivers? Now, of course, the meme you can see at the top, the big brain, can't cheat if you can't connect to the internet. Absolutely true. But why is it blocking Wi-Fi drivers? And lots of people reported this issue. Lots of people have said they can't get on Wi-Fi while they have Vanguard installed. We don't know what the workaround is. This is ridiculous. There are some people who, even on desktop PCs, have to rely on having a Wi-Fi connection because of the logistics and layout of their house. So this is a huge issue. This is something that's got to get fixed. It's not just one or two people. I've seen probably dozens of people complaining about this. But that wasn't even the big one. There was this here. If you go down, and you will notice that this one is I'm having to use remove edit to show it to you, which we're going to get to in a minute. See if you can figure out how this story might be going. Vanguard blocking throttle stop resulting in huge FPS drops. I haven't had any issues with Vanguard during the beta, but when the patch came out for ranked, throttle stop just stopped opening. At first, I thought it was a problem caused by throttle stop, so I reinstalled it. Now, throttle stop is a piece of software, as you would expect, designed to stop your PC from throttling. That's it. I mean, it does what it says on the tin, but it doesn't work when you have Vanguard installed. Still, after reinstalling, the problem still occurred. The problem was Vanguard. I decided to close Vanguard, and to my surprise, throttle stop started running again. So if any devs are reading this, please fix this issue. Without throttle stop, my CPU overheats during the middle of matches, resulting in huge FPS drops. And top one, and this is what happened to me. Vanguard is also blocking NZXT cam. It measures CPU temperature and sets the cooler. Without it, I can't play games. So I don't play Valorant. Even antiviruses are not this aggressive. Now, so I'll tell you a story. There I am, getting ready for ranked. I wanted to have, before I did my review of the game, I wanted to have a run around on ranked, get the ranked experience. I talk a little bit intelligently about that at some point. But what I noticed was, like, I've got an overclocked PC. I've got a big, i9 chipset, overclocked PC, and I monitor temperatures religiously because that is a hot chip. And I live in Vegas. I live in the fucking desert. So when it gets warm, I have to monitor my temperatures. I have to bump my cooling up. Sometimes even have external fans just beating down so I can play a game and not have to worry about any tearing or bottlenecking or the computer just flat out shutting down and any damage being caused. So I started looking at my temperature monitor, and it was off. And I was like, oh, fuck, no. I thought the sensor had gone, right? So me, my crusty old boomer ass, knows nothing about PCs, really, except, I just buy what's expensive and hope it's good, right? I went into my machine. I took off the cooler, I reapplied thermal paste, I fucking, did everything I could do, and lo and behold, I still wasn't getting a temperature reading. So I uninstalled. I just had an inkling, and I uninstalled Vanguard. Boom, it works again. So not only has it prevented my temperature checking software from doing its job, and not just NZXT, it's multiple CPU temperature monitoring software. It didn't tell me it had done that. So I could have been oblivious. I would have no way of knowing what my temperature was. I could have fucking melted my PC because I just wanted to, play Babby's first Counter-Strike game. That seems to me not a risk anybody should be willing to take. And there's no explanation as to why this is happening. There's lots of people theorizing out there, but there's lots of software that's being interfered with. Now, the next point, you will recall that when Valorant registered this subreddit, they told the League of Legends moderator team all about it, and they said, you guys can jump across and you can have control of this. Well, now what used to be a front page thread, things like this, they're now being deleted and told it is a bug that you're just going to have to deal with, and it's working as intended. This is the moderate. Now, listen, I understand moderation. You cannot have your subreddit be the support hub for Riot Games. There are support tickets for that. I totally get it. It's got to be there for content, discussion. Absolutely, that's its primary function. But when things like this are happening, the reality is with Riot Games, and this is why it's always dangerous when Reddit gets censored, is they will notoriously only react to things that are on front page Reddit posts. Their staff make announcements on Reddit. They don't have their own forums. They're shutting down their League of Legends forums. Reddit is their principal form of communication outside of their official Twitter channels. So when you start censoring and removing threads, you are denying people explanations and answers to ongoing problems like this. And somebody sent me this and said, you know, they were having software problems as well. And this is what they got told. They had an auto-moderation message that said, your post was removed because it describes an intentional feature of Valorant's anti-cheat, Vanguard. Vanguard will automatically disable certain software that has known exploits used by hackers to cheat. How does that apply to CPU temperature monitoring software? Like, you know, let me know. Because maybe I'd like to know. Is that a thing? Quite a few popular software packages used for overclocking, fan control, RGB lighting, and more are vulnerable to these exploits. Usually, either uninstalling or updating these software packages is enough. Not true. People have been doing that, and it doesn't work. It's still blocked by Vanguard. Please see this official Riot thread for more information and Riot stance. To leave feedback on Vanguard, please submit a ticket instead of creating a thread, as we do not consider it to be relevant to Valorant at this time. So... and then it says, oh, you can post a bug in the mega thread. This is like way more important than just like, oh, look, you can shoot through this wall or, you know, whatever that bullshit is. The reality here is that these are potentially hardware damaging changes, you know, in the worst case scenario. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, but we need to, where's all the official announcements about this? Certainly at the time of recording, none has been made. You know, this isn't good enough. This software exists for a reason. People are saying, oh, you can use exploits and cheats as a workaround. Well, fix that then, right? Like, concentrate on that. Turning off pieces of software I want running on my PC so I can play your game is not going to fly. I'm not signing up for that. As things stand at the moment, I've uninstalled the game. I've removed it. I'm not going to recommend anyone else do it. Maybe your CPU isn't overclocked. Maybe you don't need to monitor temperatures. Maybe, you know, you're fucked if your Wi-Fi drivers don't work and you're playing on Wi-Fi. But maybe you play like most people do, just on an Ethernet connection, and there's nothing to worry about there. But the reality is, these things just being shut down without your knowledge, not good, not fucking great at all. And it just shows as well that Vanguard, it's got a long way to go before it is the top tier anti-cheat solution that it was built to be. And I think Riot, once again, need to come out and explain to the public why this is happening. Anyway, I just want to keep you abreast of it and keep you up to date with everything that's going on. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to give it a like. Make sure you subscribe, because YouTube unsubscribing every motherfucker. Make sure you follow me on all that stuff that just flashed up, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.